Hello there, welcome to the Perfume Experience. Welcome back to another video. And today in this particular video, I'm going to talk to you about a new house. This is going to be a house that's launching fragrances in India. This is called Ghazal. And from this particular house, today I'm going to talk about one of their fragrances called Retro. Okay, it kind of looks like this. This is the Retro Gold. As you can see it's a flanker that they have launched recently among a lot of new fragrances. This is the same house that bought in the Tresco Diamond fragrance, which comes from the company of Tresco Perfumes or Hertz Chemicals, right? And they have a series of fragrances that they're going to launch in India, which is at a very budget-friendly, affordable price point. And today we're going to talk about one of them called the Retro Gold. Okay, so let's get into the video. You're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Let's get started right after this intro. Welcome back, and this setup is from Bahrain. I'm still in Manama and I'm doing this particular fragrance review from here. I do carry some of the fragrances because I plan on what to review and when to review this. So I got this, and if you kind of like the effort and the kind of reviews that I bring across to you, then hit the like button, subscribe, and definitely comment and do let me know what are your thoughts, because that really motivates, right? Keeping that aside, let's get into this particular fragrance review. So like I said, this is a house called Ghazal Perfumes, and today we are reviewing a fragrance called as Retro Gold, and it kind of comes in this beautiful gold colored packaging. It's from the brand or from the parent company Tresco Perfumes, where we did look at their fragrance called Diamond, which was a very budget friendly option. Now this beautiful flanker comes in this gold colored bottle, and it's a fingerprint magnet, but the bottle looks very cute, very neatly done, good presentation for the bottle. This is a basic paper box that we'll keep aside. The sprayer is surprisingly good as well. It does puff out, and a good amount of juice, smells very nice in the opening. So this particular fragrance with the gold flanker and the gold label should give you a hint of what kind of a fragrance it's trying to simulate or inspire, or it's inspired from. But from a note profile or on the opening note, it will definitely remind you of a very popular designer fragrance. So what you get is a beautiful sweet opening of a good amount of sweetness, and a good amount of woody vibe is something that you get, and a little bit of a minty freshness. That's the first thing that hits you when you kind of smell this particular fragrance, and light hints of patchouli at the background. Okay, a kind of a dry patchouli is something that you will get. The opening note is, of course, with that sweet note, it's definitely cinnamon that you get straight off, with a good amount of woody elements. So that element is very, very nice, and this particular fragrance in mind reminds you of, like I said, the popular designer fragrance which comes in a bottle like this. I'm talking about a fragrance, or this particular fragrance, taking inspiration from the Paco Rabane 1 million. Okay, now that note is very dominant on the first few seconds, first few minutes. You will definitely like that cinnamon sweet note and the woody vibe. However, that's where the story starts to go a little differently after this particular point, where this particular sweet notes evaporates kind of very quickly after a few minutes, and it starts going towards a more woody vanilla type of a dry down, and that's the scent profile that you kind of get. So overall, it smells very nice. It's a party type of a fragrance. It's a beautiful date night fragrance. It's a fragrance that can garner compliments for you. Now, in terms of its scent profile, because of that sweetness that you get from that cinnamon type of a vibe, although the notes will have tangerine, you do get that bit of a juicy, orangey kind of a vibe as well in the subtle backgrounds of it. However, not anything else. So the cinnamon is pretty dominant, the woody elements are dominant, the mint is pretty dominant as well. There is leather accords to it, but the leather is actually not very easily known. You can't really smell the leather, but you can definitely smell the patchouli that you get in the dry down. Now for me, this particular fragrance smells very nice. In fact, I was surprised by this, because I was not actually expecting it to be this nice in terms of its lasting. Although this particular fragrance for me is a little bit of a soft kind of a scent. Soft to loud is soft to medium is loudness is what I would say, because it opens with that nice sweet opening that I was talking about, but then after a few minutes, about 15 to 20 minutes time, it starts to soften up, and then you are left with that more of that woody feeling with a little bit of that minty vibe. Now although this being a soft scent, and it doesn't actually project that very well. So like I said, the 20-30 minutes is what you get good projection, but after that it lingers on you for a long time, right? It actually lingers for a surprisingly long time of 6-7 hours easily. So if you're doing 6-7 hours indoors mostly, then you will know the fragrance is on you. It kind of makes you feel at times a little nose blind, so you think it is not on you, but then surprisingly as you walk across or as you move across, you will definitely smell that light sweetness, you will smell that woody element, you will smell that minty element that continues to be there. Now after about the 5-6 mark, you only get the dry woody element that you get, okay, and a little bit of that dry patchouli is something that you get. Now surprisingly, that dry woody patchouli element that is skin close from the 5th hour mark onward. So even at about 7 hours, you will, even if you sniff your hand across, you will get on your apparel. At least I've been able to experience, if I come back from work and then put the t-shirt back into the wardrobe, and if I pick it up next day, I can still smell it. So it does have leave a trail of fragrance on your apparel for a long time, but it's it's good that it doesn't actually completely wipe off or blow away completely. So that way it's pretty good. This is a very unisex fragrance in my opinion, so both of you can comfortably pull it. It is a eau de parfum concentration, so you should be able to have about 18 to 20% of oil concentration on this, so pretty good. So that way surprisingly lasting is pretty well for this particular fragrance. So yes, you can definitely check this. Now you can get this from the website of Uvora, and I think it retails to about 1,500, but I see right now the price point is about 1,049. For that particular price point, if you're looking at a fragrance that's inspired from 1 million of Paco Rabane, then this is a pretty good flanker to consider. The primary difference that I felt when I checked this, and if I recall, 1 million is the 1 million's cinnamon note is very dominant. It's very sweet. It's a lot more louder than this. That is one element. But then again, the price point is totally different. You're spending looking at 6,000 to 7,000 rupees and above for that particular fragrance. At a price point, if you're at a budget price point, if you're looking for a decent alternative or a DNA that's bases the 1 million Paco Rabane, then you can definitely consider getting Retro Gold from the house of Ghazal Perfumes, which I think is a pretty good rendition of this particular fragrance. Now I do not smell alcohol blast, or I don't get that synthetic white. All I would have expected would be a little more loudness from this particular fragrance, but maybe that can happen over a longer period of maceration. So I have had this for more than a month's time, so I did get it here and try it here and test it, and I am pretty happy with the scent profile, because I kind of like fragrances that have got a woody, sweet, minty type of a vibe, because they kind of feel very complimenting. They feel party type of fragrance. They are casual fragrances that you can wear, and most people who are in and around you also generally tend to like this kind of a DNA because it's mass appealing, so obviously you will kind of get it right. So yes, if this is a good one to consider at a budget price point, this is Retro from the house of Ghazal Perfumes. And if you kind of like this video, hit the like button, subscribe and share, and I'll see you on another one.